guys, and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Today I have another edition of 4 for 4, but it's a little different than before. All of these are face and eye palettes, so they have face products and eye palette products in them as well. I decided to mix it up a little bit, so if you're interested in them, just keep watching. If this is your first time, welcome. My name is Aiden. I'm so happy that you are here. If you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing if you like it, or if you want to see more of this, please do. The 4 palettes I have today are the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop, the Tarte Ladies Night palette, the Laura Geller Central Park palette, and the, I almost dropped it, the Backtalk palette from Urban Decay. I did purchase the Backtalk, the Tarte, and the Jewel Pop myself. The Laura Geller came in my BoxyCharm, so it wasn't one that I picked out myself. We're gonna start with the Backtalk palette. This is interesting packaging because it folds down on both sides like so, and then you can pull out the mirrors so that you can look at all of the things together. So you do get 4 face products and 8 eyeshadows. I'm going to swatch them really fast and then I will give you my thoughts. All right, and so there are all of the shades swatched. So you're going to start with the very lightest here and go through the eyeshadows, and then we have the highlighters and blushes down here. I noticed a marked difference between the face products and the eye products. These are much creamier, much smoother. These have a little bit more texture and grit to them. They're not gritty by any means. They're just not quite as smooth as the eye products. So once again, there they all are. I do like this palette. I liked the color story. I felt like the shadows worked well. I felt like there was a wide enough variety that you got a variety of looks in here, which was nice because I feel like some of the other Urban Decay palettes I've had, I haven't been able to do that so much. And I like the face colors. I felt like I could use all of them on my skin as well. So this one was one that I did like and will be keeping. All right, next up is the Tarte Ladies Night palette. This is an all-in-one face palette. You do have a blush, a bronzer, and a highlight. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades as well, so you can really do a complete look and do a lot of different things with this. I will swatch it here and we'll be right. All right, and that's what they all look like swatched. So we have the highlighter, the bronzer, the blush, and then the 6 eyeshadows. The thing I will say first that you will notice from this palette is the smell. It has a beautiful vanilla chocolatey smell that if you've had Tarte products, you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it smells delicious. It's making me hungry. Makes me really want to go get like a hot chocolate, especially because it's cold today. Anyway, that's what they look like. I got a lot of good looks out of this. I mean, there's not a whole lot of variety, not quite as much as with the other palette, but I liked every single look that I did with it, and I felt like they were good standard looks that I could wear for work. This would be a great like weekend palette, or if you are on a business trip, that's definitely a good palette for that. So yes, I really did enjoy the Ladies Night palette. Next up is the Kevyn Aucoin Jewel Pop Face and Eye palette, and in here you do get 2 face colors and 6 eyeshadows. So you do have a sculpting medium and a blush slash highlighter, but it's really, this is a little darker. I feel it's showing up a little light on camera. And then you have the 6 shades. You only have 1 matte, the rest are all like a metallic foil type shadow. I'll swatch it for you really fast. The one thing with this palette as well as the Tarte palette, the sculpting or bronzer is very, very pale. So if you're really my shade, it works. If you're slightly darker skin tone, then it probably would work for you too. But anybody who is a medium skin tone or a light medium or darker, these are not going to work for you, and they're not good in that scent, so I don't think either one of these are good palettes that I would recommend for that. Anyway, these are what the swatches look like. So what I did was I took the bronzer and then the blush that was mixed together, and then each half of the blush separately. So you can tell like that one is just super pale, super light. It's not showing up very well at all. And then you have the 6 shades here. They look beautiful swatched. I will say that, like I swatched them, I was like, ooh, I don't remember them looking this pretty. And then I remembered that's because they don't swatch, they don't work as well on the eyes. I had them kind of chunky. They would kind of foil and not go on smoothly. I just struggled with this palette. I struggled trying to find an eye look that I could wear. Like even using the face things, there's just so many, like it's not a cohesive palette. I don't feel like you can get a complete eye look, or at least a complete eye look that I am comfortable wearing, something that I would wear in my real life, even if it's on camera, because sometimes I wear, you know, darker makeup than what I have on today. But this one was such a disappointment for me. This one is going to be passed along. I'm going to see if any of my friends want it. I did purchase this at Beautylish and it was like 40% off, so I'm glad that I did not pay full price. But since it was on sale, I couldn't return it. Yeah, this was a disappointment. It's one that's going away. All right, the next palette is the Laura Geller Central Park palette, and I have to say I hope the lights are not too wonky. I do have them on full strength because we're in the middle of a storm and it's super cloudy out and there's not as much sunlight as I normally have to film with. So this is the Central Park palette. I did get this in my BoxyCharm a few months ago. I don't remember what month it came in, but it does have a blush, a highlighter, that's supposed to be a highlighter, and then 4 eyeshadows. I'm going to swatch them really fast and then I'll tell you. Okay, so this is what they look like. You can barely see this lightest shade right here because it is just so pale. But that highlighter is like a super gold, it looks like a gold eyeshadow, but it's supposed to be a highlighter. I mean, yes, you can use them on your eyes, and I did, because those 4 shades were not enough to do 4 different days look. So I used the blush as an eyeshadow, I used all of these, I used the highlighter as an eyeshadow. And I honestly don't know who this palette is meant for, because these eyeshadow shades are so pale. I don't see them really working on somebody with a deep complexion, a medium to deep complexion. But this doesn't work on anybody who's medium or lighter. So I don't understand who they were putting this together for, because it's so incoherent. Like, you have eyeshadows that are all over the place. I mean, they're pretty, they swatch nicely, they are pretty, but these two don't look like anything even on my skin. This is a pretty eyeshadow shade and it worked as a blush, but I couldn't wear this. But if this worked for me as a highlighter, these wouldn't work. I don't know. I was so confused by this palette. I was so disappointed. I was really excited about this. This was my second choice. I didn't do a choice the month that I got this. I'm getting eyeshadow on my pants leg now. I didn't do choice the month that I got this because I was hoping to get the Rustic Glam palette from Dominique Cosmetics. And I didn't. I got this one instead, and it was kind of just, I mean, it's beautiful. I love the packaging. I love everything about it except how it works and the colors that are actually inside it being coherent and making a valid look. So those were my 4 palettes, some good, some bad. Let's rank them from worst to best. I'm going to say, for me personally, the Jewel Pop performed the worst. What I was looking for it was just not working. I had a hard time making the shimmers, the foils, they're kind of more foils. I had a hard time making them lay down and work on my eye, whether I used a finger, whether I used a brush. It they didn't want to stay and have like a smooth look to them. They were chunky and they made it look like I had crepey skin, which I don't. So this was my least favorite, even though I do really like these. I considered keeping it just for the face shades, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. All right, next up is the Central Park by Laura Geller. This one I'm rating a little bit higher because I could use these as eyeshadows. So I felt like with these two and the two darker ones, I did get some nice looks, but as a cohesive face palette, eye and face palette, no, that didn't work. And both of these are being passed along to see if somebody else in my friends or family, not family, I don't have any family who wears makeup, if they want to have any of these, because they just didn't work for me. In third place is my Backtalk palette by Urban Decay, and that's really because I did get some beautiful looks from it. I really liked the colors in it, and I had heard bad reviews about it, so I was really nervous when I used it, and I really liked it. I don't like that the packaging's a little bit bulkier. I would rather have just, you know, not had the mirror at all, but that's just me. I don't really look in the mirror very often, but this is in my number 2. I like the blushes I feel like I can use every single item in this palette, which is what's important. And then number 1, it's upside down, is the Ladies Night palette from Tarte. And this, like I said, is a great everyday palette. I have some neutrals. I can use the bronzer as an eyeshadow, but I have this beautiful gold. I love the gold. I like these 2 shades. This one is super pale, but it does still show up. It's pigmented enough that it still shows up. This is a beautiful like shade as well. I love this red, and this brown works really well too. And I just felt like I could use every single thing in this. I can use all of the face products on my actual face. I can also use them in my eye look. And it, I mean, added bonus that it smells amazing, but this one I'm in love with. But like I said, it's not for those who are medium to darker skin tones. I don't see it working very well, which makes me wish that they would do like, keep the top half maybe, like keep those shades and then trade out the other ones so that it's more suitable. That would be really awesome. This one unfortunately is no longer made as far as I can find. I don't think the Backtalk is still sold either, but I'm doing this because, one, to hopefully encourage you to break out some of the palettes that you might have forgotten about, or ones that you bought on sale that you never actually worked with. That, or if you have other palettes in your collection that you haven't used, like, go use them. What's the point in not using them? Or, you know, the other thing is, if you were wanting these, and hopefully this will help you realize that you didn't really need them. They weren't as good as people thought they were, as they were hyped up to be. Anyway, that is my video. Those were my 4 palettes. I am decluttering half of them. I'm very proud of myself. Let me know if you've tried any of these palettes, what your thoughts were on them, if you like the brands in general. This one, you know, sometimes I have the same brand in there, but these were 4 different ones for sure. Let me know your thoughts on the palettes, on the brands, on eyeshadows in general. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.